I'd like to move on to the last trend for today that we're going to talk about, which is automation. I said that yesterday as well. Automation. And Jorge, can you explain in a few words what automation is and what the state of BI and BPM systems, with respects to automation, and why do you consider this to actually be a trend for 2023 and beyond?
But well, a common and easy definition of automation describes the use of machines and computers that can operate without the needing human control. That's the basic definition. Now, today, the implementation of automation technologies has really reached all functions within many industries. So we can range from installation and assembly to design and maintenance. As the reach and application of automation have expanded, I guess automation is now increasingly making an impact on what we call, on the so-called non-physical tasks. And this includes, for example, procurement, management, even marketing and sales functions. We're talking about automation of specific software functions. So today, automation entails the use of a very broad number of technologies, ranging from process and measurement control sensors to really robotics and expert systems, all aiming to reduce human interaction in favor of enabling computers to perform especially repetitive tasks. Now, regarding specifically regarding BI, some of the things that automation has been adding to BI solutions, for example, include really specific capabilities, for example, to auto-discover insights and to really rank those insights, not just discover new insights, but rank how important those insights might be for a company. Another key or another interesting fact about the automation in BI is to automate repetitive data preparation tasks. For example, taking a document and being able to complete the document, to correct the document when the process is more a repetitive one. Now, in the case of BPM, as we mentioned earlier, and during the webinar, the introduction of AI and other advanced technologies has led to the evolution of what some in the BPM spectrum space call hyperautomation. And this refers to the boosting of automation capabilities with well-established rule-based decisions, and which afford BPM systems added flexibility and a really low number of exception handling. So now, process automation means more than just repeating mechanically a set of steps, but it means having a repetitive yet flexible set of steps that can adapt based on rules or based on data that the system learns to interpret. Some well-known examples of the application of hyperautomation capabilities within big industries, for example, include these companies that can automate processes such as automatically filling employee information forms, for example, setting up introduction sessions, or arranging training sessions automatically during the employee onboarding process. So most of that particular or really painful task would be you could be able to automate. For example, on financials and insurance institutions, you can automate steps to enable a user to acquire, for example, flexible banking and insurance services, all based on the knowledge the institution has on each user's needs. So the system is able to adapt and create that automatic set of services for them, and they can really apply and do the process by themselves or within an automated system. So today it seems that the potential for automating services is really greater than ever.
And PJ, what's your take on the state of ERP and supply chain management systems with respect to this automation, and why do you think we should consider this as a trend for 2023 and beyond?
So I think we've covered the use of automation and artificial intelligence in the ERP quite a lot. So maybe I'll focus here mostly on automation in supply chain. And here on the slide you see all the reasons why we need it. And maybe one that is maybe less expected these days is labor shortages, given that we keep hearing about layoffs on a daily basis, but it's mainly in the tech industry. It is now debatable why is that happening. Is it maybe just pure virtuous signaling by these vendors to software vendors to their investors, or maybe they did get over bloated in hiring during the COVID and all that. But the fact is that in lots of blue collar segments, there are serious labor shortages, particularly in warehouses, in distribution centers, and even maybe in retail stores. I just read the local news recently here in Boston that Walgreens and CVS pharmacies are going to shorten their hours because of the shortage of pharmacists. People cannot give us our meds and all that, so there are simply not enough pharmacists, so shorter hours and all that. So in any case, why is automation needed in supply chain? Not only because of the labor shortage, but we also have customer demands that are increasing in some cases, and they are getting even more demanding. Those customers, they're spoiled by the Amazon's one-day delivery, mandate or whatever else. But also with the growth of this e-commerce, it is much more difficult for people in distribution centers to handle these each individual orders versus simply pallets or whatever else before. So when it comes to supply chain, there is lots of so-called hardware or physical automation. But even those hardware pieces, like robots or cobots, so-called cobots, they also use some software, for optimizations and for scheduling and whatever else. So yes, we are seeing lots of the expansion of using these so-called AMR, autonomous mobile robots, whether they can do that on their own or together with a human, in which case they are called cobots. Then drones are being used, even self-driving vehicles, although I'm not sure whether self-driving vehicles are still for truly commercial news, especially since we every day hear about some Tesla, self-driven Tesla having an accident. Who knows? Maybe this Elon Musk should focus more on Tesla than on trolling on the internet, but I digress. So other automation that we are seeing, especially in the retail stores, of course, there are now these customer self-service, lockers, customers picking orders on their own, or even these checkouts in grocery stores where it's self-service, you go yourself. But one area where I'm seeing lots of improvement and using automation, and especially maybe with some artificial intelligence, is these store employees, especially all those people that need to do task management, when we are talking about creating promotions here, or maybe some nice marketing part within a store, or maybe those store associates can be alerted when some important customers enter the store, so you already have the history of that customer and his or her preferences. Or maybe these store employees can be alerted of any unexpected foot traffic, or maybe some crowding in a store, so someone maybe should go and help out the person who cannot handle all those customers. Or maybe if there is nobody there, but there is like some crowding, are we talking about any pilferage, or maybe that kind of possibility? So that's all. These are all the examples of automation. Maybe another example that I've seen recently is when we talk about like transportation spot markets. And especially we've heard recently that transport capacity was booked ahead over time and all that. Maybe it's been now relieved, but often these shippers, they go to these spot markets where maybe they can find some, some offers that are not part of a long-term contract and all that. And that process is quite pedestrian at the moment, because all those both shippers and carriers, they keep getting a gazillion of emails and offers and all that. So there are some vendors that are now offering, again, like some artificial intelligence tools that can scout through all these offers and can maybe inform accordingly both the shipper and both the certain carrier. And then the success rate is much higher in that case than trying to do that manually. Most of these missed opportunities are tremendous if you are doing that manually. Okay.
Yeah, that's something that we
think of at this stage.
I did want to thank both PJ and Jorge and technowebinars.com for their solid support in continuing to make panel discussions like this and our webinars go on, because we do talk about some very interesting and very relevant trends and topics.